Smoking with Whizzle.
It's raining, start to drizzle. say mozzarella,
Yep.
start to drizzle. Hit it, Wiz. Fuck yeah. It's hold on. Let it breathe.
And we're gonna let it breathe.
Bill.
We're gonna let it breathe. This deserves some breath.
The pizza is so sour because I left the cheese out in the oven for an hour.
Smoking dust with Whiz
doesn't
in the
know
back
what to do.
room. About to know.
I'm headbanging. This song is so hard.
It goes so hard.
May I ask you something, Jaja? Yes, darling. Who gives a fuck what you do?
Welcome to the Into the Night podcast. And today we are on episode 107, and we are talking about career opportunities.
I'm MC PBK, aka the goddamn phone book killer,
And
joined always by my lovely co-host and the man behind the ones and twos.
And that is me, Villain,
DJ
as
Bill.
usual.
Yeah.
And we are here once again in the Acropolis in late November here.
61 degrees in November.
The last day of November, and it feels like the first day of fall.
32 by tomorrow, 28 the next day.
4 seasons in a day.
75 by Friday.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy here up in the Acropolis.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that intro by Mr. Kitty.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Kitty. That song
Yeah.
is known as After Dark. We're gonna go ahead and give him props for that.
What a
because,
mensch.
That song is not just our intro; it is a
Segue into the movie.
into the movie that we are discussing, Career Opportunities, 1991, starring
Joseph Whaley.
Frank
Whaley.
Frank Whaley, is that what it? Yeah,
AKA
Frank Whaley,
Crypt
and co-starring Jennifer Connelly of
Labyrinth,
Phenomenon, Dark City, and
Little Children, Dark Water, the
Yep.
Japanese, the American remake of the Japanese film, and
Requiem for a Dream.
Yes, how could I forget? God, she's so hot.
She's so hot. I would do her
So
hard.
Shout out to her. She did Little Children, who has half of the cast from Watchmen.
Right, yeah.
Owlman and Rorschach are in it.
Yeah, and she was in Dark City with
Rufus Sewell.
and guy that we just watched in Altered States.
Oh, our boy. Fuck. I always call him Jeff Bridges. William Hurt.
That's it, William Hurt. Well, Billy Hurt.
Of a very bodoed out character that we'll talk about in another episode.
Yeah, well, that is pretty much the biggest praise I can give this movie is Jennifer Connelly.
The Mr. Kitty video.
And the Mr. Kitty video.
It's the only reason we've watched.
So, yeah, a little backstory. I had never heard of this movie before in
Right.
my entire life. It was completely off the radar, which is
Beyond
apparently
off the
becoming
radar.
a thing that we're doing here on the show.
It's becoming a regular thing. Shout out to Chitty Boga. Dead in a ditch somewhere.
Shout out to
I gotta get my weed somehow.
shout out to Open's Insubordination.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was good when you said
Yeah.
that. You said that very Full Metal Jacket.
I was very.
Let
Army
me say
Hammer.
a war face.
Yeah, not Army Hammer. What's that dude's name? Anyway,
Arlie Ermy.
Arlie. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So anyway, Career Opportunities, 1991. Frank Whaley and Jennifer Connelly. I saw a video on YouTube called Mr. Kitty After Dark.
So good.
So good. The
video's
song
so hard.
is so good, and the video goes so hard.
It goes hard in the paint. Like
Yeah,
MJ
so
did in the 90s.
the video is shots taken from Career Opportunities.
Which is actually a love montage.
Yeah.
But with some
Exactly.
some awful Sinead O'Connor song.
Yeah, whatever
or
the hell
something
that
on
song
it.
is.
But then with Mr. Kitty's track on it, he laces it.
It's great.
It's masterful.
And I said I had to see this movie.
Yeah.
If this song is the music video, obviously it's an unofficial music
It should
video
be the
years
trailer
later.
for the film.
It
And that's
should
it.
be
Yeah.
the trailer
Yeah.
for the film.
Now we'll get any horn dog to watch it.
And I was like, I have to see this film. This song is going so hard. And
Shout out to Mrs.
the
Poole,
movie
such
has
a
to
horn
be
dog.
that good if it inspired somebody to make this video.
Yeah.
Well, boy, was I wrong.
I mean, the poster and the trailer are the only worthwhile things
Right.
watching.
So this was co-produced, I believe, by John Hughes.
What's the Hughes connection?
Of Breakfast Club, 16 Candles,
You
Pretty
know-
in Pink, Home Alone. He's done a million and one things in the late 80s, early 90s.
Uncle Buck as well.
Yes, Uncle Buck as well.
And
I believe there's
one more that's like not out of that triple trifecta. Oh, I think
St.
St.
Elmo's Fire.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're on the same
With
track.
the illest song ever. Growing up, you got to will yourself
Who
to
is
the
that?
end.
St. Elmo's Fire.
It's John Parr.
Oh, okay.
I will uppercut somebody 1,000 feet in the air. I can bring the man in motion. I could run the Flying Pig Marathon
Yeah,
10
just to that
times
song.
in a row with that song on repeat.
It's a good song.
It's so empowering.
It's once again a movie where that's the only good part of it because we could talk about that
and
another
Demi
time.
Moore. Yeah.
But anyway, so PBK, give us a quick little rundown to start us off here.
All right, so
with
as
this movie.
per our cheap way of exploiting Wikipedia, yeah, like Villain was saying, 90. This is stupid. A romantic comedy. Did you get that vibe at all? This was just like some
I
teen's
guess.
wet dream, but
This is a
it
teen
wasn't
movie.
funny.
Yeah.
There was no romance in it, but it's a 91 romantic comedy with our boys Frank was a Whaley, who has done fuck all else.
He was in Pulp Fiction in the beginning. That's
Oh,
all
you
I
said he gets his brains blown out or
he-
something.
Yeah, I can't remember much else than that.
Connelly was also in their first ever role, pre-Labyrinth, pre-Phenomena, was an ill movie, Once Upon a Time in America, which is great. We should do that another time. It's it's based on Jewish gangsters, and it's a Sergio Leone book.
Never heard of it.
It's
we'll
good.
check it out.
It's on par with The Godfather.
I'm always down to watch anything with Jennifer
it's like
Connelly.
a
She's a
3-hour
great
film.
actress.
Anyway, directed by Brian Gordon, which, Villain, I'll have you speak about the failures of that afterwards, his feelings on it. Jim Dodge, he's a persuasive but irresponsible kid. He's a shit-talking kid like me. Noteworthy to say that, he's going to get kicked out of his dad's house. And of all the jobs...
He can't keep a job, yeah.
He can't... Oh, shout out to John Candy, rest in power, who...
That's right. He hires him
at
Target. Yeah.
as the... Well, he thinks it's like the manager, and he's
This is he. I think John Candy owed a favor to John Hughes.
John Hughes, yeah.
And he said, "Just do this stupid movie for me, and
Just
we'll call it even."
be in it for 5 minutes.
You're shooting one day.
He hires him, and he's like, all expenses paid, trip, all this other stuff. He's like, so what do you think? He's like, what does he tell him? I think he's like, how does $650 sound? He's like, yeah, $65,000 a year or something. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
no,
thinks he's hiring him
$6.50.
to be like a district manager or whatever,
Yeah.
or something.
Like an AGM or
He's
something.
there to work as a
And he's
janitor.
But shout out to Target because it was filmed in a real Target in Georgia, right?
Yes, is Monroe, Georgia. I
Thank
believe.
you. So he's overnight janitor at the local Target. After evening hours, he finds himself. So he's locked. I like this phrase: the affluent but mistreated Josie McClellan, played by Connelly. Woo! Which let's talk about. I like talking about this sleazy stuff, but I'll throw it on over to you. Bill, let's talk about the relationship Josie has with her dad, who clearly had her when he was 70. Like, how does your cock work?
So
She's 18,
I believe his name is Roy McClellan.
and they call him like Big Daddy or
Something.
He's like an oil tycoon.
He's some sort of tycoon.
Yeah.
We
Big
only
Roy.
see their living room, which is huge. It's bigger
Well,
than
it's a mansion.
It's bigger than the house I grew up in.
And she kisses these other guys. He's doing a.
Oh, that's right.
He's like a power brokering.
It's
his
real
deal.
creepy and like gives him like it like as if she was his wife. She kisses
Secretly.
them like as like a hello
greeting.
gentleman.
Yeah.
It's
Kinda
very
like his secret weapon too.
very bodoed out.
to serve to seal the deal in Boogie.
Yeah, it's super bodoed out. Shout out to Bodo Steiger. And
Thanks, Bodo.
she's
a rich girl.
She like kisses that dude like really hardcore,
Hard
to piss off her
tongue
father.
to piss
She's
off
like,
her dad.
"Ooh,"
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think he's like here's the thing. She's not an HK, right? But the dad talks like, "Baby cakes, come here and meet
He
us."
is
The guy
HK'd
from
out.
Nakatomi Corporation and this other guy from the General Electric plant down in Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, he owns the
she's
water
like, "Nice to
waterworks
meet you."
of the city.
Yeah, and she's like,
Yeah. Ugh.
but
Gross.
she basically she's a rich girl, and it plays to the trope of rich kids being bratty, being abandoned. The parents don't pay attention to them, so left to their own devices.
We're basically seeing that
they're pushing the line, pushing the
Frank
limit.
Whaley's character and Jennifer Connelly's character,
Rue McClanahan.
although they look like they're from different cliques, they sit on different ends of the lunchroom.
They're both misunderstood.
They're misunderstood teenagers.
Oh, facts, I'm dead.
Yeah, facts. Lol, I'm dead. And you know, they're gonna have a connection. So we get into the nitty gritty, which is Frank. What is his name? I don't even see this.
Dodge, Jim Dodge.
Jim Dodge.
I like that name. It's a
It's his good name,
porno name. Jim
but
Dodge.
it doesn't
from
fit.
Lubbock, Texas.
I call him
But
Ducky Part 2.
It's wasted on Whaley's character.
He's Ducky
for
Part
sure.
2 because that's what he is. But anyway, he is locked in the Target as his first night. By the way,
Let's hold on real quick.
by William Forsythe.
Let's talk about the logistics of this, even in 1991. Hey,
horrible idea.
employee,
who we don't know anything about.
we don't trust you enough to do your job. I mean, at that time, right? We use whatever it was, Cintas or whatever our punch thing
cinch.
was.
Yeah, whatever it was.
7 shifts. So at this time, none of that stuff exists, like electronic time clock. So even then, where's the logic in like
This place probably maybe has a
locking-
CCTV. Maybe.
locking someone up? Like, hi, here's your job. As a part of the job description, which we don't mention during the interview process, we fucking lock you in.
No grazing.
The star. Yeah, no grazing. And I mean, think of if he's mopping and he like busts his head open, like I'll bust him in the damn head. How's
He
anyone
falls
supposed
down.
to get to him?
He falls down dead,
And just cracks his coconut.
and he's just sitting there screaming.
Thanks, Emil. And he's got mad strawberry jam like leaking out his dome. And
Tough.
Anyway.
Put a non. Don't go to Housewares and get a Band-Aid. Put your own T-shirt around it and hope that you survive till morning, because this is a horrible idea.
That doesn't. So you have to suspend your disbelief that an employer would lock up an employee for an 8-hour shift. I believe he starts
8
at
hours. He's there
10
to 6.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this Target looks like somebody threw a rave in it with as much garbage.
yeah.
Is all over the floor.
That shit is so fake. There's like newspapers and tumbleweed.
There's like cups from like outside restaurants just strewn
So
about,
fake.
and there's wrappers and papers and everything that you would never find.
Let's
in a
shout out to
department store.
Flat Top, who plays his.
William
his-
Forsythe
yeah,
is his direct supervisor,
Yeah.
the head janitor.
And what's his name? Like Lyle or something.
No, that's
He's like a real
I
HK.
think that's the
guy now.
robbers or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And he's
only in it for one scene where he basically tells him like, says something about like, I want to go home and have sex with my wife, and I don't have time to deal with people like you.
No, it's even more like
It's something
like he's like
it's super bodoed out.
Lurleen's waiting for me. Or something. It's like, Lurleen's loins is maybe he might even say coochie or something.
He says something.
Lurleen's loins is waiting for me. He's like, and I can't be around here jerking around with you. So, shout out to Forsythe, who's Flat Top in Dick Tracy, which we just saw recently.
He's also
Out for Justice.
yeah, he's in.
he's-
Out for Justice.
he plays
He's
a
the
lot
main
of
bad guy.
villains. Yeah, he's
He's
Out for
the
Justice.
sheriff, or the main cop in
Cop
the
thing?
Devil's Devil's Rejects.
Oh shit! I didn't know he used them. Like
it's one of
that.
the few reasons to
Wow,
watch that
wow,
movie.
yeah.
And yeah,
He too is
he
in.
doesn't- he's a
one
great
of the
character
gangsters in Once Upon a Time in America, but he's a great character actor.
He's a great
He
character
plays very
actor.
good, surly, very HK guys out.
So
Anyway,
yeah.
then he's locked and he's trying to. And what does he do? He like does all the work in like 30 minutes and
Well, yeah. I don't know. Even that, he like at one point because he just kind of
dicking off,
stops. He's
and
just
like
like
stealing stuff.
I have no interest in doing this.
Right. He's like, shit, 7 more hours, I think.
Yeah,
And
and it doesn't matter
he finds
because the next big thing
Connelly.
is Jennifer Connelly hiding in the
in the-
dressing rooms.
Oh, I thought it was high in the electronics.
Maybe it was. She's hiding there because she was going to steal some shit, and she decided either against it or
Super
decided
fake plot, yeah.
that she was going to stay the night in the store, which we find out later is because she's running away from home.
Her dad.
But it doesn't matter because at this point we get the like exposition that they know each other from high school. And like I said, she sits on one side of the cafeteria. He sits on the other. She's the pretty popular girl. He's the nerdy dork who makes mixtapes for girls that they never listen to.
Just indulge me here. How far removed are they from senior year? Is this like 6 months, 2 years?
I think
I don't think
they are.
teens.
They're seniors. I think they are seniors in high school. I could be wrong, but the only reason I asked that is because they keep on talking about like Jim Dodge's dad keeps on talking about him getting a job and moving out of the house, which sounds very we're wrong.
Graduated.
He says something in the beginning.
He's like,
about
either you go to college
or you go
get a
to
job.
work. Yeah, and because his sister is living at home as well, and he says, "But she's allowed to stay here."
Right, she's 24.
But she's got a job. She's going to school,
yeah.
whatever the hell it is. So yeah, they're out of school. But anyway,
drumsticks and peanut butter.
we get into the these like montages of, like you said, it's like fucking a broke ass version of CNC Music Factory.
I wanna know if you really love me.
That's right. Do they listen to Whitney Houston? I just remember there's the Randy Travis album in Foursquare in that one part when they're dancing in the CD department.
Let's elaborate on that.
This movie is very highly influenced by MTV at the time.
My Crocodile Willie got so hard with that.
So hard.
The date. So hard. Thanks, JCVD. The wall. Remember that as a kid? Like Bradley's, Caldors, Sears, like the electronics section. Walls of cassettes.
Yeah. Sam Goody and Media Play.
Oh, my God.
And I used to get super psyched going to see what music was available.
It was huge.
I loved it. Everything. You had hip hop, you had metal, you had rap, you had pop, you had alternative.
Those were the names of it too.
Yeah.
They put it alternative, heavy metal, rap. They didn't even use hip hop really at the time. It was literally just called rap music.
Yeah. This is true.
They had Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell, I think, as a product placement.
Yeah.
Which
this is 91, so that's right around the same time.
Drawn by my dude
Vanilla Ice, maybe.
He was cool as I. What was it? To the Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Extreme. Shout out to Meatloaf, the cover artist, by the way. Michael R. Whalen, responsible for lovely covers of my childhood: Sepultura, Demolition Hammer, and Obituary. Anyway,
shout out to Sepultura and Max
shout
Cavalera.
out to Max Cavalera. Law facts, I'm dead. So we go through this faux date stuff where there's
a lot of
cooking a microwave meal.
They're roller skating.
Dinnerware. Right.
He's playing that shitty drum set that's meant for like an 8-year-old.
Yeah. They're hanging out in the.
It's a way to fast forward
cafeteria.
The fact that they're getting over their high school, like, stigma of each other being from different cliques, and they're kind of like bonding on the fact that they have some similarities, even though.
In reality,
this would never happen.
Fucking happen.
Yes.
She wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
So anyway, after that, we get the real reason she's running away from home. She's got her purse with her.
Yeah, you need to elaborate on.
With $52,000 that she in 91, by the way, so that's a lot of money. She stole it from her dad, who
beats the shit out of her. As she said, yeah.
She's physically abused.
She's like, my dad beats the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Maybe
some
sexual stuff.
We're not sure yet.
We were ambiguous about
but yeah.
Bastard.
So she's running away from home. She wants to go to, of course, where does she want to go? California.
Shout out to Thrashing. I love California, man. Babes all around.
I remember when he used to live in the valley, man.
Now what was he? What is his name?
Now he goes by Monk.
Yeah, Monk.
I remember when he was Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph Malph from Happy Days.
So yeah, she wants to go to California, and I guess this is the beginning of him saying, well, maybe I should go with her, even though that's not where we're at yet in the movie, but it's very obvious. He's got this look in his eye like, I could start my life off with this beautiful girl.
Yeah, I mean,
the $52,000 that she would never give me any of.
This is kind of like a love letter to all the incels, the kids that now would shoot up what's left of malls school.
I hate to get political, but this is totally Kyle Rittenhouse. This is Kyle Rittenhouse.
This is Kyle Rittenhouse
working at Target in 91.
This is Dylan Klebold. This is the Columbine kids. Like, unattainable
Why does nobody
girl.
like me?
Yeah, I can't get laid. Ugh. I know. Instead of, working on myself, I'm going to fucking take people's lives.
Son of a bitch.
Thank you,
Fuck
Arnold.
you, asshole.
There you go. God damn.
Yeah.
So, we get to this bullshit. They're liking each other, and
It's all hunky dory, and this would be the end of the movie.
I mean, this would be a 30-minute movie where they just fuck in the tent.
There's two things that happen, and that really is it. The first thing is that the sheriff shows up to knock on the door.
Because the daughter's missing.
Right while they're having sex.
And he's with the dad.
So this guy's gone from 0 to hero in probably 4 hours tops.
Yeah, and then he
It's
says,
still dark out. It's
not
like 2 in the morning.
like 3,
Yeah.
but
The cop shows up and
what's the off-color thing? The sheriff says like.
so he's like,
He's like,
we're looking
"Can't
for
find
this
his
girl.
daughter." Yeah,
I can't find his daughter. Oh, she's not here. He's got that very yeah, she's not here, sir.
Yeah, she's not here.
Don't know what to tell you. Like he's got suspenders on.
He's got red Target brand coveralls. Like he looks like
he's got the little Clark Kent Jerry curl thing down.
And that was a very John Hughes thing, making his guys look like 50s characters.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a very doo-woppy kind of attitude to him. And the off-color remark, I bet he's just mad because his daughter's out boinking some other guys.
Yeah.
He says something, boffin or
boinking.
whatever the hell he says, something along those lines. And he's just like
dirty dad.
Yeah, it's ironic because that's exactly what's happening. Yeah. And the dad's actually in the car.
And she has a revelation.
So we
about
know
it too.
There's at least one group looking for her, which is her dad and the police. She
we
stole
never see Forsyth.
$52,000.
I don't think we see Forsyth ever again.
Yeah. And then this is where he realizes she's hot out of a bat out of hell. She's trying to get out of town.
Yeah.
She needs to soon. So they're locked in, and he can't open the door.
They've got until 7 a.m.
They've got till 7 a.m. They have to wait out the night.
Yeah.
And then this is our second problem that comes into play. Plot device. Totally just shoved in.
This was to make it a 90-minute feature.
These guys may have been in an exposition scene earlier. Maybe. I don't remember.
No, not at all.
Shout out to the McDermott brothers.
The Mulroney brothers. I think if we look.
Is it? I can't remember.
You think Dylan McDermott is from
you're right.
one of those lawyer shows.
You're absolutely right.
What shall I call
it's
him?
Not
lawyer?
McDermott brothers.
It says it right here. It's like something Mulroney. Kieran Mulroney.
Yep. You're right.
And Nestor Kieran and Dermot Mulroney.
That's it. That's where I got the damn Dermot from.
Where are they from?
I don't know.
To
be honest with you, Dermot am I saying this right?
Mulroney, yeah.
So Dermot Mulroney is really the only one who had as far as I can tell, a career.
Right.
He was in My Best Friend's Wedding.
Okay.
He's apparently in Young Guns. I don't remember.
Oh,
him in
no
that
kidding.
one.
Shout out to you.
I remember him in Shameless, the most recent show where he basically plays
Chicago base.
He's in a couple. Yeah, he's in a couple scenes where he plays the main girl's boyfriend. And
John Candy, uncredited,
his brother,
as C.D. Marsh.
Yeah.
the
What's his brother's
of the Target store.
What's Mulroney's brother's name?
Kieran, like Kieran Culkin.
Kieran Mulroney was Little Timmy in Seinfeld episode. That's the only thing I remember from.
That's a deep
You double dip the chip. It's like sticking your whole face in the dip. That's the only thing I remember from.
So Dermot and Kieran play Nestor Pyle and Gil Kinney, respectively.
Tell me all about PBK. Tell me about these two goons.
I don't know. They stink. It's kind of like the poor man's Marv.
Yeah.
And Harry from Home Alone, right?
So
not
Home
funny.
Alone was the year before this.
Yeah.
And these two guys have total wet bandit energy. That is for sure.
Sticky bandit energy, yeah.
Yeah, depending on which one you're looking at.
And
they
stink.
God,
I don't know. They're like HK'd out.
Very bodoed out.
They're trying to. I'm gonna use.
Remember, he's very limp wristed with the gun, and he's kind of
right.
Like
but they're very.
Face.
I won't say the R word. They're very grapey towards Connelly, and she very much knows her agency being a knockout. So in a childhood memory of mine, the trailer for this film was her riding that quarter
pony
horse, and not to Mr. Kitty, but this is. We have to give a shout out to Fine Young Cannibals.
That's right.
Because it was She Drives Me
Crazy
was the song tacked onto the trailer.
Which isn't in this movie. As far as I remember, it's not in the movie.
It's not even in the end credits. But
fucking stupid.
But anyway,
bullshit.
Shout out to Fine Young Cannibals. I think a British band.
Quite
so many
quite
others.
British.
Quite British. Yeah. And so she's like seduces them, and then in this kind of fake thing,
they're here to rob the Target.
Yeah,
which I guess in the early '90s, robbing a department store was a very lucrative endeavor.
Yeah, a lucrative endeavor. Yeah. You'd be set for life stealing $40,000 in cash.
Yeah. Well, they'd have no idea about the $52,000, and I don't even think that they ever see the $52,000 she's got.
They just got him at gunpoint.
Maybe he talks
a few
about
times.
it. I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's so bad.
Anyway,
This
let's
whole-
fast forward.
This whole scene, like with them trying to possibly seduce the girl and get rid of the guy and take the merchandise, maybe kill them.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. From the back, from the stock room.
These guys are supposed to be a
They're
threat.
loading up like golf clubs,
Yeah.
TV, big, huge cathode tube ray televisions,
Cameras, JVC shit, all
right.
kinds of
Shout out to
RCA.
Nikon, all that 80 shit. And she, I guess we're supposed to believe after they've fallen in love that she's like, I'm done with you. You're a loser. I'm hitching a ride
I'm hitching
with
with the
these
bad guys because they're more dangerous or whatever.
Alpha, whatever. And I don't know.
That's not what happens.
It's so
like you said, it's an
worthless.
incel. This is a movie for the incels
It's
because
an
that's not what
incel.
happens.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Jennifer
yeah.
Connelly's character would do that, but
Right.
basically what happens is after some back and forth for like a good 30 to 40
I didn't even
minutes,
know how they
there's
beat the bad guys.
there's really no direction as to what they're doing or why they're there. And
Do they show them getting arrested?
I remember at one point they have the carts. They're moving the carts of all the merchandise to the car.
To a station wagon.
They appear. There's
Yeah.
some bullshit that happens.
Yeah.
It gets very sexual for a little bit.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, they're like, okay, we're leaving the store now
check,
because
yeah.
they found that the back garage door is open or something. They were able to get the back garage door open, which allows our main characters to leave.
Right.
So in like a will she or won't she moment, Jennifer Connelly decides she's going to screw over the robbers, and her and Jim Dodge are going to get the car and go to L.A. together and live
says Jim-
happily ever after.
It says, meanwhile, in the building, hold on, while the criminals are loading stolen merchandise into their car, Josie jumps into the front seat and drives away. So,
Yeah.
like it looks like she's dissing them, leaving the two men stranded in the parking lot. Meanwhile, in the building, Jim loads up a shotgun, because I guess targets in the
Yep.
80s had shotguns, found in the head custodian's locker, Will Forsythe's locker, and tricks Nestor and Gil by luring them to the back of the store and holding them at gunpoint. In the morning, the sheriff arrives and stumbles upon the two crooks, having been tied up by Jim. Jim and Josie run away and are then seen lounging next to a pool in Hollywood. Ugh. And
Bullshit.
what do the kids say? That guy's so cool. Remember the
Oh, the little
skateboarding
kids, yeah. Jim's so cool.
Anyway,
Because he lies to everybody about everything.
let's get to the fun stuff, the reception. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
They'll fix you. They
that
fix
fixed everything. Thanks, Murph.
yeah. Shout out to
So we
Murph.
said, shout out to Murphy. Shout out to that Netflix Movies That Made Us episode with
Yeah.
Murph. Anyway, Monroe, Georgia. Target was number. This is like Terminator. T-Tac 378. Yeah. Tango 378. And was located at 4000 Covington Highway in Decatur. Shout out to your boys. Outcasts, I think.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that from there.
College Park.
Yep. Just outside Hotlanta. The store had formerly been Ridgeway location, blah, blah, blah. Target's Southeast expansion in the late 1980s. And blah, blah, blah. So all these little montages, that was stuff that we came up with. He says he and Connelly got along really. Oh, I'm sure you got
Sure
along
they
with
did.
Connelly when you were
Who
like
wouldn't?
21.
She's
People remember
the bee's
certain
knees.
shots from- yeah. God damn. Anyway, principal photography began, this is interesting, on November 13th, 89, so 2 years before release, with an estimated blah, blah. It was shot over the Christmas holiday shopping season, blah, bliggity, blah, blah. Some store employees remained after hours, and several were chosen to be background actors. Shooting at night does something to your psyche, said Frank Whaley.
Shout out to Wikipedia.
The filmmakers created an additional Garden of Eden set with the store, designed for an emotional scene with the film's leads.
Anyway,
Box office reception. It was a disappointment, a.k.a. a bomb at the time of its release. And it was released direct to video. Taking over here, Villain. What do you remember about the critical response here?
so
It says
it
perhaps
was a flop.
realizing they had a complete dog of a movie on their hands, attempted to hard sell the dubious teen flick
Yep.
as some sort of cleavage fanatic sweat trade.
So that's a good segue into what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Director Brian Gordon. As far as I can tell, he did not do anything else other than this, except for
This shit killed his career.
he did TV after this, so it couldn't have been that good. He was handpicked, it said, by John Hughes, who we found out later had wanted nothing to do with this movie.
Oh, he said it like you said it earlier before we started recording. Hughes later claimed the film was cheap and vulgar. I didn't have my usual creative controls. That's shout out to the baby upstairs. Hughes said it was a disappointment, okay, like you said, and he tried to take his name off the film. Universal refused in the wake of the success of Home Alone. So, yeah, this is true. Suddenly, I'm a commodity. If Home Alone hadn't come out, my name wouldn't be on Career Opportunities 4 times. The movie kind of tanked, said Whaley.
But yeah,
I don't know.
it sucked.
The soundtrack was certainly classic John Hughes fare.
We did say there's like 1 or 2 songs that
It's
are
got
worth
like metal
hearing.
and house, like proto house, songs,
very,
like,
very, like you said,
Back
CNC
to
Music
Life,
Factory,
yeah, and like,
Technotronic, like the
Shout-
BC
Shout out
version.
to your kid Gay. High Tech 3, you know
Yeah.
what's up. The hip and the hopper, you turn it up. Shout out to Ninja Turtles 1 soundtrack.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Technotronic
Mic check.
featuring Ya Kid K.
It's the story as you know.
Who is what? Ya Kid K is everything ambiguous. Is it a black woman or a light-skinned man?
I don't know.
High Tech 3.
I really don't care.
Up the
I was about to say, pump
What
that
was up?
jam up. That's all I care about.
It got a C+ on Cinema Score. I don't know.
Okay, so that's a
let's
great
wrap it up.
segue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So PBK, what is your score
My
out of
score.
5 on this one?
Fuck. I hate doing this. I know we're just a 2-bit Popeyes eating fucking operation here in the necropolis, but Miss Connelly, if you're listening, please holler at us, talk to us about this movie. I'm going to give it a... there's definitely worse, so I'm going to give it a 2, a generous 2. It is so fucking awful.
Negative.
I mean, look, the premise is like... It's not a bad premise.
No, it's not.
It's like Home Alone.
You could make this work.
Think of it.
You could.
I'm sorry. Home Alone a year before, every prepubescent boy's fantasy, like, no rules, no parents, I can eat ice cream in bed. When you become sexually active, like, oh my God, the girl who wouldn't shit on me across the way, like, now we're trapped. I get it. That shit,
Yeah, it's a great.
as an old ass man, that shit still speaks to me.
It's a great way to
biologically
kind
as
of
a male,
to
but-
give you that last bastion of the crush you had.
Thank you.
And you're left alone with her. She's forced to be with you for 8 hours. You're gonna how are you gonna charm her?
The crook thing I think was so superfluous.
It felt like it was 2 different movies shoved together.
Right. I think honestly, if this movie got remade like now, like in an indie type of way, like mid-90s or something, it would have been just about them breaking those
It would have been a
societal
drama.
barriers.
No
down.
comedy.
It would have been a drama, and it would have been something similar to like Cherry Valance from The Outsiders hooking up with Dally, a.k.a. Matt Dillon. Shout out to The Outsiders. But without, I don't know, any of this the movie was not comical at all.
The funny parts, if you find that shit funny, was few and far between, which I did not find
I give
funny
it a 2 for I don't care if you hear this or not. 1 for her torso and 2 for her lower half for her body. Jennifer Connelly, I love you.
Well-
you still got it, and you're still a great actress. And hey, everybody's got to take an L. She did the Rocketeer like 6 months after this, and then blasted into superstardom with Alex Proyas, which we'll do later on, and she plays Marion in the ever so perfect 2000 Darren Aronofsky film, Requiem for a Dream. So, yeah, 2 for me.
Well, PBK, this is a rare occasion because I agree with you.
Don DeMarco! Don DeMarco. Shout out to Fresh and Fit Podcast.
But yeah, I agree with you. I give this 2 out of 5. I give it a 1
But what are the reasons?
because of Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
And I give it another star because John Candy and William Forsythe make an appearance. It's the only reason to watch
All right,
this
you
movie
got that off.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Frank Whaley, I'm not.
I don't know.
You did with best
Even-
with whatever they gave you, I guess.
Even Ducky on 2.5 Men is more entertaining.
even Ducky
to
is more
watch.
entertaining than this.
Even Long Duck Dog.
I'm not saying Frank Whaley's a bad actor.
No,
but
we love you,
this
Frank.
was a-
Come on the show.
This was a
anytime as well.
bad
Talk to us about
movie
it. Yeah.
that he was probably had to do.
Open thing.
The
If any-
Mulroney brothers
If anybody hears
did what
this,
they could do with
Right.
whatever they were given.
please explain to us how
Yes.
this movie tanked.
I think this may have just been like a I need to work kind of movie for everyone involved.
For most of them.
Because this movie didn't do well in theaters. It had very little marketing. I think, like they said,
lasted like a month.
They knew what they had was hot shit on a plate.
Yeah.
And they said, how do we at least try and turn a profit of what we have?
Villain, can you think of any other...
Suck so hard!
So hard.
Can you think of any other film, any other joint that has this kind of... I'm thinking like My Girl or any other Can't Hardly Wait.
Well, this is a proto version of every
this is almost like
late
the Patient
90s
Zero, but if you think like Can't Hardly Wait,
this is a weird middle movie of like what The Breakfast Club and like you said She's All That or 10 Things I Hate About You.
Thank you.
This is the middle.
With,
this is like
Julia Stiles.
This is the the ebb and flow. This is the dip. So you've got movies like The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles in the 80s, which were, and Weird Science and these John Hughes movies that did really well.
Thank you,
and
John,
then
yeah,
it
Weird
dips
Science,
down, and you have movies like
it's
Career
a blight
Opportunities.
on his fucking career.
It's really bad. This movie. Oh, and before we stop, I have to say this movie has the worst audio in it I have ever.
Oh, you caught that?
God.
Okay,
so I don't want to take up too much time nerding out on.
But the levels,
the way it was recorded,
the levels go all the way.
People are 40 feet away from the camera, and you can hear their footsteps as if they're right next to you. People are chewing food, and it's just so loud and obnoxious. Oh yeah, it's the worst.
Thanks, Emil.
I felt like the Abomination trying to listen to this movie.
Blonsky.
It was horrible.
But
so I don't know who was doing recording on set or who was doing Foley or whatever.
Right.
But they phoned it in and it was horrible. And
shout out to Foley.
Absolutely.
And
I don't think you can.
Best Boy and Grips.
They clearly couldn't fix it.
They'll fix you. They fix everything.
But you kind of quite. All right, I think Can't Hardly Wait, right? Like nerdy Ethan Embry. And that movie speaks to me because I was in high school when that movie came out. Getting Unattainable, Jennifer Love, huge tits. Oops, did I say that out loud? Freudian slip. So
son of a bitch.
Sorry, Jennifer. So anyway, getting the Unattainable Girl.
It's a trope, and it's a good trope. It's not a bad trope.
It's not a bad trope. It's a very real thing. Yeah. But it just. Yeah, Can't Hardly Wait. I'll watch that movie.
It's a great movie.
Anytime.
It's fun.
It destroys stuff like this.
I feel like we're talking about
Clueless. Maybe
we're talking about the ebb and flow. Yeah, like Clueless like the mid to late '90s. Even Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a fun movie, even though they went a little more serious with the TV show.
The original '92 with Chrissy.
For me, when it started dipping down again, was like when the American Pie movies came out. And everything just became a parody of itself.
And super fake.
Shout out to Not Another Teen Movie, who really nailed how shitty it all was.
Oh, my God.
At that time.
Shout out to Lacey Chabert. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
She plays the Jennifer Love Hewitt character.
And, yeah. And Not Another Teen Movie.
Shout out to Ghost Whisperer.
Shout out to Mean Girls. Shout out to, yeah.
Man, shout out to Buffy. Shout out to all those girls.
Shout out to hot 90s chicks, right?
Like Sabrina. Shout out to, basically all 90s broads from 96 to 2001.
Yeah.
Good God.
Oh, wait.
Jamie Presley, Tara Reid before her botched boob job.
Yeah. Very true.
God.
Mina Suvari.
Anyway, I'm going to hell, but I don't care.
I'm right there with you, dude.
I'm just doing my job.
In the age of Nero, in the age of PC woke culture, I find it my duty to go way hard left.
So hard.
And just be a fucking troll. But I mean no ill will. I get it. Acting is one of the hardest things you can do as being a musician.
It's very hard. And anything creative is difficult.
And you got to take an L.
You have to pay the bills sometimes.
Right.
Because that's what this was.
That's why Robo did Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah.
With Jeff Goldblum. You know what's funny?
Stay out of trouble.
Thanks, Murph. For those listening, you wouldn't fucking believe when we talk. We got to do a Death Wish series soon enough. You wouldn't believe the guys who play the henchmen. Bill S. Preston Esquire is in Death Wish 3.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne's
known
in
as
part
Larry
2.
Fishburne.
Larry at the time plays a character called
2.
Jiver.
He looks like a proto.
He looks like
Bebop.
Cyclops. Yeah, Bebop.
From
Rocksteady. Yeah. And then motherfucking Jeff Goldblum plays Freak #1 in the first one in 1974. And these are all except for Bill, but these are all like A-list people. Yeah, I mean this guy
Yeah,
plays
we'll do
some
Death Wish.
breakdancing
We're gonna have
rapist,
to do Death Wish.
and then becomes Neo.
Yeah.
And like Mystic River, and like all these like these Oscar nominated things. But
yeah.
anyway, yeah. I mean, oh my God.
Anything else
No,
you want to
just
talk about when it comes to career opportunities?
Jennifer Love Connelly. I know I have no chance with you, but thank you for being you. Thank you for putting your beautiful. That was good. Thanks, Galcia. Thank you for putting your visage on celluloid for time immemorial, as well as Jennifer Love Hewitt, Lacey Chabert, Sabrina, Buffy, and that's it. And,
I just want to say that
shout out to Mr. Kitty.
Jennifer Connelly has a lot of range. She can be.
She does. Maybe she's the best.
super hot, kind of
Yeah.
slutty chick.
Yeah.
And she can also be very serious, very emotional. This is
A classic beauty in Dark City.
Yes.
For sure.
This is the only reason to watch it. Is
It
her
is.
doing her thing. She is the star of the show, even though it says she's
Frank
co-starring.
Whaley, John Candy.
Sorry, Frank Whaley, John Candy, and
Sorry,
William
guys. This is a
William
gen-
Forsythe. This is the only reason to watch this movie is her.
This on the VHS should just say Jennifer Connelly in a John Hughes film. That's it.
Well, yeah, once again,
All
shout
right,
out
guys.
to the Necropolis. Shout out to all our listeners. Thank you for, supporting
Happy
us in
Hanukkah.
whatever way you can.
Yeah, please sign up to our Zencast.
Shout out for
Check
Patreon
us out on Spotify.
or on Spotify. Yep.
Become a patron if you can.
Shout out to our, we got a special episode for all you Patreon members talking about Dench Schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse. That was good. That was off the hook.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a little creepy one, so be on the lookout for it. But once again, thank you for joining us on the Into the Night podcast.
You know, guys, I just wish I had a girlfriend.
You guys got any girls you could talk to me about? I'm looking for somebody.
Oh, wait.
Later, guys. We
Yep.
love you guys.
Here's a little Mr. Kitty to take you out of your day. And
My good people.
thanks
Peace.
again, guys.
Oh, wait.